Okay, hello. It is me, Drew, and I have just been asked to do a Q&A, a question and answer, by my lovely wife Talia. So she said, "Oh, let's do a Q&A. I can ask you questions. You get to answer." So here we are.
Where was you when I was in journalism school?
Exactly. So here we are doing a question and answer. So Talia, it's all up to you.
Okay, honey. Since I know the answers to most of these, I will try to refrain from commenting.
Okay.
But for all the people
Speak out.
For all the people out there,
Yeah.
why deep thought?
Deep thought was, well, for those people that aren't familiar with the term deep thought was the computer that was created to figure out the meaning to life, the universe, and everything in the series of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And Deep Thought ended up building another computer because it came up with the answer, but it had to create another computer to come up with the proper question. But Deep Thought is just, it really wasn't based on that at all. It was more based on the fact that I think about things very, very deeply. I try and get down to the absolute bottom line or the root of everything, which means that my analysis process goes past where most people normally stop their thinking, and even the deep thinkers tend to stop thinking past to a certain point, and I even go further, and I try and go further and further. So the deep thought that's where that came from.
So why are you doing this video log? Video blog.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up. She said, "Why are you doing this video blog?" And part of it is I've talked to lots of people. I've basically been interested in personal growth since I was actually very young. But I started in the personal growth field when I was 17, and really have done a lot of introspection. I've done a lot of inner work myself, coming up, trying to figure out basically why I function the way that I function, and how I can function on what some people would consider a higher level, but what I just consider is how can I function from loving the people, because I've always loved people, and I've always loved just not only our potential, I guess, but what we are, because I've been able to see it for a long, long time, and I wanted to be able to express that. And over the years, I've talked to a lot of people. I've gone through lots of phases in my life, and I went through a phase where I was incredibly angry at the world, and even though I knew a lot of this stuff, the way that I was proposing it to people and talking to people about it was from an anger standpoint. And I've since I don't know, that was probably in my mid-20s that I was coming from that kind of anger. But since then I've learned a lot about myself and understand that it has nothing to do with how the world needs to change or anything like that. So this isn't in effect any kind of desire to allow the world to change. Okay, no, scratch that. It is too out of the desire to help the world change and to get some of this information that I've discovered out over the airwaves, get people maybe talking about it, maybe doing a lot of introspective, looking at their lives, seeing themselves in a different way, that will help the world move into a new, what we call a new age, but to a new understanding of itself. And when I'm talking about the world, I'm talking about the people in the world. The cats understand themselves quite well. But, the people of the world understanding themselves, living in harmony and love and all that stuff. I don't, for one instant at this point, think that it's going to happen now. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I'm not going to cause this huge wave of change that all of a sudden all throughout the world everybody's just going to wake up and, and figure it out. It's not going to happen. If I can talk to some people that can hear and it helps them move forward in their lives, all of that stuff, it's important. And those things affect change very, very slowly, but they do eventually. And when they start teaching their kids about this stuff, when they start really understanding their children, start accepting their children, start accepting the people that are around them, it causes the change. It starts a little bit, and hopefully, 5 or 6 generations down the road, we won't be where we are today. And so that's the reason that I want to get this out there.
So helping people is your ultimate goal for doing the videos?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really. I'm selfish. I'm just like all of those people out there. I'm selfish. I do it because I love doing it.
So you're a narcissist?
I'm kind of a narcissist, I guess. I mean, everybody is to a great degree. I mean, we're going to do a segment on selfishness so that you understand what that is. But it's like we all do this to please ourselves. I mean, on some level, I wouldn't be doing this if it hurt, right? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a talent to be able to do it. I wouldn't be doing this unless I was drawn to do it, and doing it felt good, okay? It does. It feels great. And I do it for my own selfish purposes. Yes, and I do it for the selfish purpose because I'd like to see the world move ahead if it can. And I'd like to share my ideas. And I like to think that I affect some kind of understanding and change. And, to be able to put this all out there. So, yeah, I do this for a purely selfish motive. But
the truth is out.
Yeah, the truth is out. And altruistically, there is a part of me that says this is a good thing to do, and it can help the world. So, I mean, in my own way, I guess that's what I'm doing. But it's all based on because I love it.